Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to a very special edition of Chicano's special edition. And all the way from the UK, we now link up with the man himself, Tariq Chip Moosa. Assalamu alaikum, my brother.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jazakallah for having me back again.
My absolute pleasure. And big smiles again because you've walked away with first prize in the very exciting Ultimate Stance car show. Congratulations.
Jazakallah so much. Just a correction, it was in the top 20.
Okay.
So, so
good enough.
Alhamdulillah.
I think just being
good enough
there, you're a winner. Definitely, Brother Tariq. So for those that don't know too much about your entry into this car show, how did that happen?
Okay, so initially we built a car to ship over for a car show in August, which was called Gravity. We managed to place in the top 5, obviously out of 700 cars, which was quite an achievement, second year in a row. And with this type of exposure, a lot of the other show organizers started chatting to us and wanted to find out about this South African car that have come to the UK to compete. And I chatted to the organizers of Ultimate Stance, and we applied and we got accepted. And that's how we ended up entering this show, which is the last show for the year in the UK.
Okay.
Those of you that don't know, winter has actually started. It's raining outside, it's cold.
Right.
So this is technically the last show for the year up until next year, March.
Inshallah. Well done. Just enough time to get home to the beautiful sunlight in South Africa. And I mean, Vato is just a household name at the moment as well. It's getting such worldwide recognition. You must be so proud of your achievements.
No, I am. I'm proud of my team. I'm proud of my personal achievements. It's always been a bucket list to be able to come and attend. But now we've taken it a step further and we're able to attend with the car and compete with the UK's best, and I think that's a proud moment for every South African. So this win is not just for me, it's not just for my team, my family, but it's a win for South Africa. I mean, to win consistently at 2 different shows really says something about us,
Alhamdulillah. So this competition, I would imagine that there was a set criteria or a certain criteria that you had to meet in order for yourself, your team, and the car to be entered. Take us through that.
Okay, so one thing I can tell you is every time I bring a car to the UK shows, I think to myself, look at the competition, look at the quality, look at the standard.
Yeah.
There's no chance that we're going to walk away with anything. But what I realized that the show organizers look for and the judges is what impact the car has at the show. Also, obviously, the finishes, the whole styling behind it. And that leads me to believe that we have a unique style. I mean, there was no point where throughout the show where there was nobody with a camera taking pictures of Vato. Like, people really went crazy. And they stop you, they talk to you, ask you if you're the owner, ask you the history of the car. And a lot of people said that we build totally different to what they usually build in the UK. And I think that's our competitive edge, is the uniqueness,
Right. Speaking about that, what seems to be the biggest difference in terms of how we do things down here in South Africa compared to the UK, for example?
So UK, I can tell you, I'm a big fan of the UK car scene. I love the way they build cars, and it's something refreshing. But I think our cars have a lot of soul and heart in it. We put a lot of ourselves into the cars, and it's very personalized to each person, each individual. And I think that's what stands out a lot for us.
Okay. Going to a competition like this, you would need various sponsors, a lot of capital to get you to these competitions, to ensure that the car looks good, to ensure your team is there, to ensure that you're in the right frame of mind, and to do last-minute touches as well. How do you go about raising funds? Tell us a bit more.
So that is I think that's one of the most difficult parts of building a car and taking it overseas. We rely a lot on sponsors. I wish it would get to a point where we could get government involved.
Okay.
It would make it a lot easier. It would allow a lot more people to go with, but we haven't been able to secure any government funding. So inshallah, after this win, hopefully it will happen for us. But we rely a lot on sponsors, local sponsors, and alhamdulillah on this build, I've had a lot of local companies that have come on. And without the local companies, we would never have been able to make it. So the sponsorship is so important for us, because for us to do it on our own costs a hell of a lot of money. And what I try and do is I try and give every company an opportunity to come on board and give them value for money, so it really, really helps a lot with sponsors.
You mentioned earlier that, you anticipate, going to a show like this, but the anxiety, the nervousness is always there. And I'm sure the other guys feel the same way when they see your car and how good it looks as well. But what are some of the cars that impressed you the most?
Sure, I would say almost every car impressed me, because again, it's a different type of styling. So we're not used to their type of styling. So for the UK guys, our style is different and it's refreshing. And for us, their style is different and refreshing, so it's playing against each other. But I can tell you there were a few cars that stood out for me. The main car that really, really blew my mind was the Mercedes-Benz Gullwing, the light blue one. That car was absolutely phenomenal. And to make it even more special, the owner was a down-to-earth guy that spent a lot of time with me. We were complimenting each other and we were appreciating each other's builds. So that, I think, is important. And that's something that we definitely lack in South Africa. I think we can do better on that. Another car that stood out for me was the old school 2002 BMW with the turbo motor. That was an absolutely amazing build, the finishing, the quality. And there was a lot, there was never a point where I could walk around and say, I don't like this car, I don't like that car. The cars were all amazing. And the people behind the builds, them sharing their journey and their challenges, and also us playing off each other, appreciating each other's cars, that's what makes this trip special.
Nice. If you look at some of the pictures that's been put on the screen right now, I saw that you were sitting around having a cup of coffee and a meal. And I can imagine that happens a lot, meeting different people, sharing different ideas. Are you hoping to partner with anybody? I know you do have contacts in the UK at the moment, but are you hoping to participate and partner with someone else?
Yes, so our next year build, inshallah, is going to be something absolutely crazy. It's never been done before in South Africa, so we're building something quite rare. Just to give you guys a bit of a background, we're not building one car, we're building 3 items.
Wow.
And that's going to take a lot of sponsorship. It's also going to take a lot of partnering up with people, because we, instead of transporting one item, we're transporting 3 items. So it's 3 times the stress, 3 times the cost, 3 times the difficulty. But inshallah, if we pull it off, I believe that is the build that is going to really put a spotlight on South Africa. It's about us evolving. It's about what did we learn in our time going to the UK and seeing the other guys build. And for me personally, it's just inspired me to up my game and to think even bigger, and again, that's what it's about.
Do you at any time, have a group of youngsters that come and learn from you, that you try and now create a bit of a succession plan and get the younger generation into what you do?
Yes, and that's something I'm super passionate about, because again, our responsibilities as a businessman, influencers, is to guide our youth. And for me, the main thing is that I want to be able to set a legacy, not only for my own kids, but for everyone else that has a dream. And part of my legacy is employing youngsters with absolutely no experience and trying to teach them a skill so they can take it on further in life, And I think if a lot of people thought that way, we would be able to solve our high youth unemployment issue that we are facing in this country, to name some of the issues, because we've got talented people. We live in an age of social media where before, you had to actually actively go and seek out the knowledge, and it was more difficult. Today, you can go on YouTube, you can Google, and the information is there for everyone, So I think it's our responsibility to guide the youth and show them the way.
Yeah. What are some of the questions that people have asked you about? I mean, do they identify you as being from South Africa? Do they not refer to you and look at you and say, hey, but you grew up in the UK. You look like someone that grew up down the road.
I actually had a conversation with someone. One of the guys came to me and asked me, like, where did I build the car? Mm-hmm. And then they heard my accent and they said, where are you from? And I'm like, no, I'm from South Africa. They, okay, how long have you been staying in the UK? And the conversation went along the way where I'm not staying in the UK. I built the car in South Africa. I shipped it over, and their eyes went big and they were like, you shipped the car over just to attend the car show?
Yeah.
And my next response was, you guys inspire me so much. I had to come and support your car show. And just that shows the level of appreciation that we get from the UK guys. They really look after us. I mean, now as it stands, I'm sitting in one of my good friends' shops, and it's rated the best shop in the UK.
Wow.
And they're so hospitable towards us. And, it's just amazing the love we get here.
Stunning.
And the appreciation we get here.
This is a Chicano special edition, chatting to Tariq Chip Moosa around his great win in the UK. And we're going to take a short break. When we come back, we chat a bit more about this amazing young man and the achievements that he's managed to fly South Africa's flag very, very high. You are still watching Hilaal TV. Welcome back to a very special Chicanos special edition. I'm Luqmaan Shadrach, and we're chatting to the man himself, Tariq Chip Moosa, all the way from the UK after his great win over the weekend. Tariq, thanks once again for joining us. Really, really appreciate your time.
Jazakallah so much.
Look, you haven't stopped smiling this entire interview. I suppose that's what it was like, since you were announced as the top 20 and one of your cars, Fato, that was, it's making South Africa so proud. It's making just the African continent so proud as well. Speaking about the UK and countries that you actually take your car to, are you planning to attend other car shows in other countries?
Definitely. So next year's plan, inshallah, if all goes well, we would like to attend Altrace. Altrace is in Poland.
Okay.
It happens around June, and that is even bigger than Gravity.
Wow.
So that's regarded as one of the best shows worldwide. So that's our plan for next year, inshallah. So we've already started work on the project that we're building, mm-hmm. and we're hoping to do a collaboration with the UK company here called Car Audio and Security, mm-hmm. Which is where I'm currently at now. So the idea is we're going to do a lot of the work in South Africa, ship the cars over, and have them do some of the finishing, like the sound, and finish up the air suspension. And then we will go together collectively to Altrace, and inshallah we can compete there.
The Minister of Sports and Recreation has made it very clear that he wants to, throw some of the much-needed funds into the car industry, into car shows. In fact, there was a car show not too long ago in Cape Town that he attended. Has there been any talks from government to get involved?
Nothing at the moment. We hope that they will approach us, but it's definitely needed. We definitely do need the funding, especially for next year's build. Mm-hmm. So it would be nice for them to give us some sort of recognition. But it's sad, but we haven't yet gotten that. But again, for me, it's more about, we're not doing it for government's recognition. We're doing it for ourselves. We're doing it for our sponsors, our families, and to inspire a lot of other people to dream, and to dream big, and that anything is possible. So alhamdulillah, without government funding, we were able to get this far. Mm-hmm. And I believe that again, everything comes from the will of the Almighty.
Amen.
So if it's in our taqdeer to go, we are going to go, you know, and that's the attitude that we always have.
Inshallah. What's your next project? Take us through the process of how you identify what car you would like to build and the process you take to ensuring that car is according to competition standard.
So I think it's important in anything you do to understand who is the best and also what the trends are, you know. So for example, in the UK, the BMW scene is big, the Mercedes-Benz scene is big. And when I look at what's been built, I also look at what has not been built and what has not been done. And that's kind of where I get my ideas and my thought process from. So with regards to next year's project, we are building something amazing. I'm excited. I'm also stressed a bit because it's our biggest project to date. So we're building an E34 M5 replica station wagon.
Okay.
Obviously, it's going to have air ride, custom paint, custom interior. We're also going to be building a car trailer that's going to be attached to the M5. And on top of the trailer is going to be an old school BMW 2002. So it's 3 items. Everything's going to be on air ride. Everything's going to be on BBS wheels, custom interior. So it's kind of going to look like a Hot Wheels set. And that is what we're building for next year. The reason why I am doing that is my dream as a car builder is to win a best of show at an overseas show. And that is my intention. And based on what was built and what has won at these shows, I believe that, inshallah, what we're building will be a strong contender. And it's something that hasn't been built worldwide as yet. Right. So we will be the first to build this type of a set. So I'm very excited for it. And again, it's about thinking outside of the box and challenging yourself, you know.
The car show you just attended, the Ultimate Stance Car Show, is one of the premier events in the UK as well, and to end up in the top 20, I mean, such an accolade as well. Surely it's a family event where people bring their husbands and wives and children and come to have a look at some of the work that you guys do. What are some of the conversations you have with these people? Because, you get the car, the petrol heads that would come through and be more clued up. But for those that don't know too much about the work you do, the effort you've put in, the sacrifice that you've made, what are some of those conversations?
So I'll tell you, the main conversation is, how did the car get here? How long did it take you? And why did you choose to come to the show, or why did you choose to come to the UK? And that's the most, or that's the biggest conversation piece. The other part is about the actual car. So a lot of people love the paintwork because we went with the pearl paint. So at certain angles, the light would throw the paint and show it as green.
Okay.
And then when somebody walks past, they'll stop and you'll see them frown or make a funny face. And then you'll ask the person, what's wrong? Then they'll say, no, but I thought the car was black, but here the car looked green, So that type of conversations. And also the interior, we got a lot of compliments on the interior. A lot of guys said that they haven't seen work like this before, and they were even shocked that it came out of South Africa. So there was a lot of compliments around the actual build and the process of bringing the car, which made us feel proud,
Stunning. What does this mean for you, Tariq, as a car builder, as an entrepreneur, as a social media influencer, as a family member? What does it mean? Because there's a lot of hats that you would often have to juggle when doing something like this.
Of course. So this honestly is my motivation. It's my motivation to make my kids proud, to make my family proud, to make my wife proud, and to make to make South Africa proud. It's more, it's a bigger meaning than just winning the trophy or placing in the top 5, top 20. For me, it's about what it represents, And I've said this before, that it's very important for us to dream and work at it. because we don't know what's possible unless you try, you know. And I say this personally, we all go through challenges, and sometimes in life you just give up at that point just before it works, you know. And for me, that is what this means as a whole. It's inspired me now to even think bigger. I mean, from one car, we're now building 3 items, and now we're going to Poland, you know. So I'm that dreamer. I'm the person that believes that everything is possible provided you make the effort and dua. And if it's meant for you, it's going to happen, you know.
Sure.
And it's a big thing. Shukr, alhamdulillah. I'm grateful.
Alhamdulillah. So you've got a little boy watching this interview at home with big smiles as well, because he's followed your journey. You know, he's playing around with his Hot Wheels set or cast iron set car and dreaming big. He's got the picture on the wall, and I know you've done that when you were growing up as well, of the fancy car or a luxury car. What is your message to that young boy or girl wanting to get into this type of industry?
I would say don't give up. The sky is the limit. And again, how do you know what's possible? How do you know what's written out for you if you don't try? You know, and that's my message for the youth. If someone like me that's come from a background of playing with matchbox cars, having posters on my wall, sketching cars, you know, to being able to win at international competitions, if I can do it, you can definitely do it, you know. And that's the message I want to pass through, not only to kids, but to anyone in life who's willing to put in the effort, work hard, and eventually it will work out, you know. And that's how life is. You're going to go through challenges, you're going to go through struggles, but don't give up, because the point you don't give up could be the turning point in your life, you know.
And then in closing, your message to everyone that's followed you on Hilaal TV, in your personal social media handles as well, that have encouraged you, that has spurred you on, that has followed this journey of yours. What is your message to them?
I love you guys so much. You have no idea how much the support has pushed us to get through. You know, when I read some of the comments, or when people WhatsApp me or give me a call, and, you know, just words of encouragement, it makes me emotional. It makes me emotional in a sense that I have such a strong support structure, you know, and that's important for anyone that's taking on a mammoth task like this, you know. So the support means a lot, you know, and I'm grateful. I'm really, really grateful. And again, it plays a massive role in us doing things like this. So alhamdulillah, I love you guys. Thank you so much for the support.
When do you return to the shores of South Africa? Are we anticipating a big audience at the airport welcoming you back? We're holding that trophy up high.
Inshallah, that would be amazing. And we are going to be planning a nice park off as well. I'm super excited actually, because I'd like to put last year's winner, this year's winner together with the trophies. And I'd like to invite everyone to come over to the shop and share in the moment. You know, it's really a special thing for all of us.
Well done. Tariq, thanks so much. All the very best to you. We look forward to the next edition of Chicanos on our channel, and safe travels home, inshallah.
Jazakallah khair. I'll speak to you guys soon, inshallah.
Walaikum salam. There we go. That's Tariq Chip Moosa. So proud of him. He's just walked away with one of the prizes at the Ultimate Stance Car Show in the UK. This is a very special Chicanos special edition. For Hilaal TV, I'm Luqmaan Shadrach.